Yeah.
So, hang on, let me reframe that. No, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what happened tonight.
Tonight, it was
at the end here.
Yeah, at the end here. So we have been trying to protest for Palestine. The cops weren't letting us stay on the street. We were actually trying to leave. We've been trying to leave for close to an hour at that point. And we kept on saying, let us leave. We tried to go towards the brown line, but they stopped us and had us move this way. We came this way. We got kind of crushed in this area right here. First, there was a line of cops that way, and then another line of cops came down this way, and they just shoved us all against each other so that there was a crush. The girl next to me was smushed, and I had to try to make room for her to get out. And anybody who came out, they were just grabbing and arresting immediately, even though there was no way for us to leave and just leave. We have been, once again, as I said, trying to leave for close to an hour.
Do you know how many people got arrested? It looks like about 12 or 15.
I'd say it's dozens. I saw a bunch of people down there that were arrested. Even initially when we had first started, they didn't let it. We were on the street for close to maybe 10 minutes that we tried to do a march, and they immediately shoved us off the street. Interestingly, the Israeli people who were there to support Israel were allowed in the street and were actually given a cordon area by the police. So it's just that double standard there.
Yeah, no, I was there earlier. They formed a line and they weren't going to let you march.
Yeah.
Were they say that was because there wasn't a permit? Like, I don't know. I'm not from Chicago, so I'm just...
Chicago's pretty strict about permits for marches. This was an unpermitted march. Because they don't allow permits generally. It's part of the reason why they had to fight so hard to get protests within sight and sound of the DNC, because Chicago was not going to allow protests within sight and sound of the DNC. And that was a months-long battle that Chicago-based organizations were dealing with, and the Israeli consulate, they generally don't. So this one was a kind of a natural occurring protest, less than a big planned one that's...
Did you start at the consulate?
Yeah, we did start at the consulate.
And then you tried to march?
We tried to march initially. They didn't let us go. They shoved us down the sidewalk. And then we were kind of just trying to leave, because once we realized we were kettled, we were like, okay, what? Because they kettled us outside of the Israeli consulate. And then after that, it was just an hour of trying to leave and being repeatedly kettled and repeatedly crushed and repeatedly told you can't go this way. And then when we tried to go the other way, there was another line of cops.
Let me ask you this. So I couldn't hear what they were saying. They had two skirmish lines, one on each side of on each street. So there wasn't really a route where you could exit at that
No, there was no exit.
So
at the exit that they said,
you couldn't go by the bike
they'd say go this way. A cop on one side would say go this way, and we'd be like, we're trying to go this way, and we'd go that way, and then there'd be another cop there waiting to arrest you.
So this seemed deliberate. This wasn't just chaotic.
This is something. This isn't just chaotic. This is a deliberate thing that the CPD does consistently. In 2020, they do it. They kettle, and the CPD is known for being one of the most violent police forces in the country. It's actually known for the fact that there's victims of police torture that are still in jail right now. That it's been proven in court that they were tortured into their confessions by the CPD, by those officers over there, and they are still in jail despite the fact that it's been proven that their confessions were tortured out of them. And that is the police state that we live under in Chicago. And whenever we do any form of protest that is anywhere near the Loop specifically, or just anything on the north side that isn't the west side or the south side, if you do a protest, they're going to kettle you, they're going to try to keep you from being able to do anything, and they're going to try to make it seem like you were the violent ones when they want to be the violent ones all along. This is an intentional thing that they do consistently.
They try to do resisting arrest, felony charges, things like that.
Yeah.
So what do you think these folks will be charged with tonight?
I'm really not sure. I couldn't see anybody probably for an unlawful assembly. Previously, I was charged with disorderly conduct when I was arrested in 2020. That charge was summarily dropped because there was no way that they could prove it. They actually didn't even know who arrested me. They didn't know whose cuffs were on me. It's a complete mess most of the time when they do these mass arrests, which is why I think they were actually trying to be more careful about it right now. But they've got a lot of out-of-towners up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if half of these arrests can't stick. I saw 2 members of the press that were arrested as well. Yeah, there was one over there that I got his handle, but it's in a video on my phone. I don't know it. It was, I think, Indy. But they had press passes, much like yours. And one of them, I heard his partner say that he had been trying to leave, that they were telling him which way to go, and they arrested him despite his press pass. Another one, he had a helmet that said press. He's very clearly press, also arrested. So they don't respect any of the normal rules of how protests work here.
No, I had an officer threaten to revoke my press credential earlier this evening, and I was like, that's...
They're on a power trip.
How this works.
Yeah.
A white shirt
Wild.
pretending that he could revoke your press.
Yeah, because they think that what they say goes. And that is something that has been supported consistently by the courts in Chicago, by Chicago's supposedly progressive mayor. Hi there, Brandon Johnson. Like, we aren't very fond of you right now. And generally just a complete disgrace what happened here tonight, because it was a peaceful protest that was aimed at drawing attention to the ongoing genocide. And in response to that, they brutalized protesters. You know,
How many people would you say there were
altogether? I'd say probably maybe 150, 200. It wasn't a massive group as compared to
back in the day when they totally occupied the Ogilvy.
No, this was a smaller one, especially compared to the massive DNC protests that you have going down near the actual DNC itself in Union Park and all, because that's where they were allowed to do the sanctioned protests. So this one was much smaller and directed.
Are you with a particular group, or are you here as an individual?
I'm not here with a particular group right now, no. I'm members of multiple groups, but I'm not going to say that I'm speaking for any of them right now. Any more questions?